Ladies and gentlemen, champions in the making, dreamers who dare to show up today, I want to start with 6 words that could change your life. You owe it to yourself. Not to your boss, not to your parents, not even to your friends. To yourself. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's the essence of what I'm talking about. There is a price for greatness, and it's one you must pay to yourself before you ever pay it to the world. Every single one of us was born with something unique. Talent, creativity, resilience, ideas that no one else can duplicate. Steve Prefontaine, the legendary runner, once said, "To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." Think about that, sacrificing the gift. Every time you settle for less than you can give, every time you stop short of your full effort, you're taking something precious and letting it rot in the dark. You owe it to yourself to protect and nurture that gift. The truth is simple. Life will give you 10,000 excuses to stay where you are. You'll hear it from others. The timing isn't right. You're not ready. What if you fail? And you'll hear it from yourself, that little voice inside that loves comfort more than progress. Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." The people who break through are the ones who take that quote seriously. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They act and adjust along the way. You owe it to yourself to execute, not just dream. Let's be honest, fear is the #1 dream killer. Not a lack of resources, not a lack of opportunity. Fear. Eleanor Roosevelt gave us the antidote when she said, "Courage is not the absence of fear. It's deciding that something else matters more." If your dreams don't scare you at least a little, they're too small. You owe it to yourself to choose courage over comfort. Many people wait for the spark of motivation to arrive before they act. That's like waiting for the rain before you plant your seeds. You'll starve before the harvest. Jocko Willink, a former Navy SEAL, says, "Discipline equals freedom." Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. You won't always feel like doing the work, but the work will always feel like freedom once it's done. You owe it to yourself to build the habits that carry you when motivation fails. Bruce Lee said it best, "Long-term consistency beats short-term intensity." We think success is a single leap, but it's not. It's thousands of small steps in the same direction, taken even when you don't feel like it. If you take one small step every day, a year from now, you'll be 365 steps closer to the life you want. You owe it to yourself to move forward, even if it's only an inch at a time. You've heard Jim Rohn's famous line, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." If your circle isn't challenging you, inspiring you, or supporting your growth, it's not a circle, it's a cage. Surround yourself with people whose presence make you level up just by being around them. You owe it to yourself to curate your environment like your future depends on it, because it does. Will Smith once said, "You don't set out to build a wall. You lay one brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid, and you do that every single day, and soon you have a wall." The public sees the wall. They don't see the individual bricks, the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices. And that's fine. You're not building your dream for applause. You're building it because it's yours. You owe it to yourself to respect the grind when no one is watching. Winston Churchill said during one of the darkest hours of history, "If you're going through hell, keep going." Most people quit just before the finish line. They stop because they can't see how close they are. But your breakthrough might be one more try away. You owe it to yourself to outlast the struggle. Maya Angelou reminded us, your legacy is every life you touch. Your dream isn't just about you. It's about the people you inspire by chasing it, the ones who see your courage and decide to find their own. You owe it to yourself and to them to rise as high as you can. There's a version of you in the future who is everything you've ever wanted to be. That version is watching you right now, hoping you'll make the choices that will bring you closer. Les Brown, one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time, said, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." So shoot, don't hold back. Don't settle for a life that feels half-lived. You owe it to yourself to meet that future version of you and shake their hand with pride. Here's my challenge to you. Tonight, make yourself a promise. Promise that you will stop waiting for the right time. Promise that you will do the hard work no one sees. Promise that you will act in the face of fear. Because one day, when your story is told, I want them to say, they gave it everything. They chased their dreams like their life depended on it. They owed it to themselves, and they paid that debt in full. So stand up, step forward, and start now. Because you do not owe your potential to the world. You owe it to yourself.